do you want to hit first? We should probably hit a few of these. I think they'd be fun.
Okay, well, this TopGolf, let's do that. Or Modern Golf, I should say. This is previously known as Callaway. They are now called Modern. Is their full name the Modern Golf Company? I don't know, but their tickers MODG, MODG. They acquired TopGolf, and we were believers, to be honest. Like I was a believer that this was a good acquisition. I really thought it
Interesting
was
concept. Yeah. Yeah.
unique, very differentiated. People, a lot of brand notoriety. People knew, like when you think about, you don't say let's go to a giant like modern golf facility. You just say let's go to Top Golf. I don't even know if there really are any like working operational competitors, but
There
anyway,
are, there are, there's a lot, but yeah, they're not good, and you don't know about them. So that's kind of the point.
right. And so this quarter, they revised their full year Top Golf revenue guide, which keep in mind, I think they just reported the third quarter. So they revised their full year guidance from $1.9 billion at the Top Golf brand to 1.745 billion. So more than a 10% reduction in full year revenue guidance. That is huge. I am, or roughly 10%. First of all, how do you not know this? And how do you not communicate this earlier? Second of all, it's they're expecting declines in same venue sales, and they are now expecting. Here's what frustrates me, and we can talk about what we were thinking prior to this. They expect consolidated adjusted EBITDA of 575 to 585 million. My
No,
question is
just ignore
though,
that. Just ignore
yeah,
that.
how much of that really turns into cash flow? And Nick Seipel and I were talking about it a little bit before this. He says adjusted EBITDA only matters for management because they get paid on it. And that to me is really frustrating. It feels like you have a gem of an asset, and maybe it's a little bit like it's
I
not
don't. I
recession proof.
honestly am thinking it's. I'm not. I'm thinking it's not a gem anymore. I've changed my opinion, but I'll let you finish and then I'll talk.
I think it I think it can still be a cash generator for them. And the difficulty is, for one, they're growing fast, so a lot of investment going into it, but also it's like not recession proof. It just really isn't. It seems like this is a place where people stop spending if consumers are tightening their purse strings. So this was kind of our concern. Like, is just spending pull back in any sort of a tightened consumer environment? It looks like it has.
And there hasn't been a Titan consumer environment X the pandemic, which was unique for Topgolf. They were either not around or relatively tiny during the GFC.
Yeah. I mean, I still think they're good assets. I still think they can be profitable on a per venue basis because they do, they, whatever. The problem is the numbers that management gives are bullshit numbers. So it's hard to know.
Yeah, I mean, adjusted EBITDA, just ignore that. Stock can still work. A stock can still work. I don't know about this stock. A stock can still work if they're valued on adjusted EBITDA. It's just maybe you still got to trust management. Here's okay. Andrew is commenting here, and I think basically sums up what happened to me when I actually went to one of these with a group for the first time. And he says the problem with Topgolf is that it's fun for the first time or second, but after the novelty wears off, you realize the food is mid and overpriced, and you could spend $100 better somewhere else. Yeah, I mean, after going to one of these, like I actually was there with you, Ryan, and a couple other guys. I was like, okay, this was fun, but I would not like. I would not be the guy that says, "Hey, let's go to Topgolf." And it's not like I'm an insane, like crazy
But
true golfer. Like
you
I
do
don't.
golf like I think you're beyond their kind of target customer. So I would say like you golf regularly
But those
and
golfer, but the target customer is not going to be a regular customer for Top Golf because they're not actually caring about golf. It's just like a novelty for them, and it's just a fun little group event. And I just,
I think about it as like a bowling alley, except
yeah,
drastically more expensive.
and that's not look. And they also have a lot of debt. Yeah, I've really changed my mind here. Glad I kept it on the watch list.
Yeah, I agree. This was one of those where we kind of had a bad gut feel about management and just the numbers in general, and I'm glad we held off. It is there
Yeah,
are
they
honeymoon
need
periods with these
yeah.
venues. They talk about that where when one gets put in a different city, the first year you see this massive inflection and kind of, or well, you see tons of visits, and then it kind of declines because people go for the first time, and then you don't get the regular customers, which
Like, look,
it could
if
still be a
the
good
same,
visitor spot.
yeah, yeah, sure. Here's the thing though, if they don't, yeah, here's a good point from Andrew again. If you become an avid bowler, you go back to the bowling alley. If you become an avid golfer, you don't go to TopGolf. Exactly. That's just something I thought that, like, I was pretty bullish on this thing, I thought, but okay. But I was trying to think of this. Like, if their same venue sales don't turn around, like, they could be in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
No
right.
doubt about it. Although every time
Other
I go, I mean,
one,
it is pretty packed. That's anecdotal, but whatever.
but there's still okay. Like, that's still like, what happens if the consumer spending generally is going up still, like, across the whole country
On probably more
like
necessary needs. Like, yeah. Consumer spending is going up, but I would be surprised if like discretionary spending, like stuff
right.
like this, was going up.
I don't know. I guess
Just using like companies like Dollar General, the discretionary spending, Dollar General, Target, all that stuff, it's been mixed to like necessary items, consumables, stuff like that. So even though spending's going up, it's like pushed towards stuff people need.
Well, I would say the discretionary is more travel and entertainment,
Which is
but I
waning
guess we
a
don't
little
have.
bit.
I don't have the data. I don't have the data. It should be fair. I'm going off of a little bit of a field there.
All right. Anyway, bad quarter for modern golf, and I think I'm going to stay away from it for a little while. Do you want to talk